You know what, y'all? Life's all about give and take. I mean, yeah, I've gotten my fair share of W's, but sometimes, I realize that I'm always broke, and I've been doing music for like 10 plus years and nothing's happened, and I've been eating Pringles and ramen noodles for the past 2 days. I mean, but everything's fine. Just keep on smiling, right? What's going on, everybody? It's the Granddad, Woolly, and you are here again for another edition of Woolly Reviews Hip Hop Data. We got an album review today. We're gonna talk about the brand new album that just fucking dropped. One of the collabs I've been looking for ever since it was announced, and it's finally fucking here. It's from one of my favorite MCs for a long time, and an MC who I've been hit and miss on, but I like what he does. I like what he does. He's his own thing, and it works out for him. And they got together on some collabo shit, and we're gonna see what the fuck they talk about. These motherfuckers are back. They dropped the new shit. Tag team on that ass. Talking about the new album from Jean Grae and Quelle Chris entitled Everything's Fine. I mean, really, is everything fine? Because it's not. It really isn't. Ramen noodles and Pringles. They barbecue flavor though. That's the good I'm hungry. For those who don't know, Jean Grae is a very dope MC out of New York. She's been doing her thing for many, many years. I've been a fan of hers for over a decade. She had albums like This Week and Genius with Ninth Wonder, and the album that never came out, that should have fucking came out, Cake or Death. I'm mad about that, Jean. I wanted to hear that shit. Actually, let me just get that one track you did off the Boondocks Beat. I love that shit. With This Morning, that shit was fire. I mean, just give me that. Let's just send me that shit, and I'll be good with that. And then you got Quelle Chris, who is a rapper, producer out of Detroit, and he's been pretty much hit and miss with me. I haven't got too much into Quelle Chris's work, but I did enjoy his last album. Being You was great. I wish I could be you more often. I didn't love it, but I thought it was really, really good, and it was very, very unique, because I was like, yo, he's just all over the place with his shit, the way he raps, the way he produces, and he just got his own special thing that he does, and it works out very well for him. And the track that him and Jean did on that album was one of my favorites, so I was like, yo, they need to just go ahead and do a whole project together. I mean, they a couple, they be working together all the time. Might as well, I mean, they've done projects before, but like a full-blown like hip-hop project, and then look what we got. We get one. See? I taught it into fucking existence. Maybe they was already working on it before I said the shit, but W for me, nigga, shit. So now let's see if Jean Grae and Quelle Chris Everything's Fine is an album that is better than fine and is fucking amazing, or if Everything's Fine just means everything is not really fine and we're just saying that so you don't have to ask any more questions because it's uncomfortable to talk about terrible shit because this album's probably whack. We don't know, but we gonna find out. Let's talk about the shit. Now, when I first popped in this album and I tuned into the production, which is handled by Quelle Chris and Jean Grae, they both come in and do some production work on here, which is awesome. I think that they really work well together, and the production on here is so just very unique and just off the wall and different. Like, you have your moments where it's very traditional sounding, but then there's moments where it's very just like alternative and just very just, different and just all over the place, but it just clicks and it works well. And that's what I love about Quelle Chris' production, is that things that don't sound like they should go together, and it just comes off as this very unique and just very just eclectic sounding instrumental that you can still spit bars over. But on the flip side, there are also components in some of the beats here that sound very traditional, like some East Coast or some West Coast or even Midwest shit that just works very well for just traditional hip hop listeners. But it's just got this nice little mixed bag of production where you just don't know what you're gonna hear from track to track. Like, you can hear some shit that'll make your head nod, but at the same time, the next track you'll hear something that's just very just chill and mellow, or something that's just all over the place and sounds like something from like the future. It's all on this shit, but Jean Grae and Quelle Chris just fit so well with any and all of this production on here that it just comes off so beautiful. And I love all the beats on here. I love how different they are. I love how nothing sounds the same, and it just comes together very cohesively at the end of the day still. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it happened, and it's dope. And when it comes to Jean Grae and Quelle Chris on the mic, you are not disappointed whatsoever, because these two are very elite and very just dope ass MCs. The bars are there, the wordplay is there, they got crazy humor, they got great chemistry. They talk about so many different things on this album, from a social, political standpoint to just a hip hop, just rap game standpoint, and everything in between. But they also incorporate this humor, this wit, this satire that they just naturally have about them, and it just comes off so damn dope. I mean, you got Jean Grae on here just coming through with bars after bars, and it's so good to hear that, because we haven't had a Jean Grae rap album in a while, and it's just seeing her on here just going in and just talking about so many different things works out well. And the same thing goes to Quelle Chris, where he has just these dope lines and references references to things from pop culture all the way up to just like things that are going on in the world, where he just gives his own view and kind of makes you think twice about what a situation is, and he does it in such a way that it's kind of humorous, but at the same time it's very serious, and you can like, yo, that makes fucking sense what he's saying. And they just have this dichotomy about them that's just like, they're kind of opposite, but they are perfect for each other when they're on the songs together, because they just complement one another's styles so well. Jean is more of that traditional style, and Chris just has more of that just like unique off the wall style that just kind of, it just blends so well together. And there's so many dope tracks on here where they just come through and just talk about so many different things. I mean, you got tracks like My Contributions to This Scam, where they're talking about how everybody is kind of just, you know, contributing to some kind of scam, pretending that they're a part of the culture or that they're contributing to the culture, but in reality, they're just doing shit for themselves to make themselves look better, which is kind of funny how they kind of put it. And Jean on that song even takes a little dig at the YouTube reviewers saying that we should shut the fuck up because we're not contributing to shit. She ain't talking about me, because I contribute to the goddamn game. Yo, I've been making music for so long, yo, sure, I'm out of that conversation. So all you other YouTube review niggas, hey, that's she talking to y'all. She ain't talking to me, Jean, right? Jean, you ain't talking about me, right? I got fucking references and proof, nigga. And then you got other songs like Breakfast of Champions, where Jean Grae and Quelle Chris are talking about the whole police brutality situation and just their thoughts and their feels about it. And it's just so much more in this album. Like, this album is just packed full of just so much social commentary, thought-provoking lyrics and subject matter, humor, satire, wit, just, you know, self-reflection of oneself about a lot of things. It's just really, really dope to see how much they packed and cleverly put into this album and did it in a way where it doesn't sound preachy or it doesn't sound like they're overdoing it, but it just makes it sound very entertaining and just something that can make you look back and just like, yo, that really makes sense, or that's just something to make you even think more about something that you wouldn't have thought about before. And if this album wasn't unique enough with the production and the MCs themselves, I mean, the feature list on here is just one of the most crazy, all over the place feature list like that. I mean, only Jean Grae and Quelle Chris could probably pull off, and they did. I mean, you got Hannibal Buress on here, Big Tone, Anna Weiss, Jonathan Horde, John Hodgman, Michael Shea, Akshak, I'm gonna fuck it up, Akshak Dap, Kondabalu. I'm sorry, that's you though. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Denmark Vesey, Euro Droog, Nick Offerman, Moselle, and that's it. Like, all those motherfuckers, and I haven't heard of everybody on here, but like, if you got an album where you got Hannibal Buress, Michael Shea, Anna Weiss, Euro Droog, and Nick Offerman, like, just like all these, like, I mean, they got people from the comedy world and the hip hop world and the singer-songwriter world, like, just coming together, and they all work. It's like they come through and they actually incorporate something that pushes along the narrative of this Everything's Fine theme and Everything's Fine album, and they just are just very, very good to hear, and that just makes it just even more unique to listen to this project, because like I said, you don't know what you're gonna get from track to track or what they're gonna supply, but it's highly entertaining, highly valuable, and it just sounds so damn good. Now, you know, I gotta give you my top 5 tracks, y'all, and I can't even do this, y'all. Like, literally, this album is so fucking good, and the tracks on here are so unique and have their own identity that it's so hard to just like pick one song or 5 songs out of this amazing 15-track project. Like, it's like, I mean, I could just say, I'm gonna just name some songs and say some quick things about it, because like, I can talk all day about all these songs, about how dope they are. Like, My Contribution to This Scam is dope. The beat on there is amazing. I love how they're just like sort of like doing this humorous take on like how everybody wants to like flaunt about what they've done to contribute to the game, but in reality, they really ain't done shit of importance, or they're just saying this to like, you know, make them feel more important than they really are. And at the end of the day, we're all just contributing to this one big scam, which is the game, which is hip hop, or whatever it is that you're doing to kind of just make yourself feel more important than how you really are. But it's all a scam at the end of the day. So I thought that was really clever and really funny. Oh Shit with Hannibal Buress is a fucking dope ass song. It's the first single. I love the beat on there as well. Hannibal Buress has an hilarious verse on there where you can tell this motherfucker was, I think he was freestyling. It sounded like he was freestyling, and the shit just fucking hilarious as hell. Fucking House Call. The beat on there is so damn dope. It sounds like this West Coast like G-Funk beat, but it's got this hard-hitting drums on there. Big Tone on there, Anna Weiss on there, Jonathan Horde. It's just a fucking dope ass, just face crunching, like head nodding joint. Really hard-hitting, dope ass song. Gold Purple Orange has that really just like laid back mellow joint to it. The fucking beat on there is so cool. I love how Jean and Quelle just rap on there. And it's just like, and that's another single too. Like, the video on there is hilarious too. Check that video out. What else? Breakfast of Champions, like I said, when they're talking about the police brutality and you know the Black Lives Matter stuff and just how they have their thoughts on it and just how they feel about it. It's just like, I mean, I can keep talking more and more about this shit. Zero sounds like a fucking video game soundtrack, and they even made a video like that where it was a video game and Jean Grae has that song to herself. Quelle Chris did the beat, amazing. And I gotta say, the last song I'll say, River. That is the most beautiful instrumental I've heard this year easily. Jean Grae produced that shit. That fucking instrumental is so fucking gorgeous. The way that it starts off, how it builds up, the fucking string, violin, sample, whatever that's in there, it sounds so goddamn good. The fucking just percussion, it's light, but it just hits so quick. And like, Jean Grae's just delivery on here and just her just talking about just like her life and just her reflecting on life. The same thing with Quelle Chris and pretty much going through all this shit they went through. At the end of the day, everything is fine or everything's okay, right? But in reality, it's not, but they just have to put on this facade. And it's just, it's the most beautiful outro, beautiful beat. And like, I can listen to that song on repeat. I play that shit so much. From the first listen, I had to repeat that song at least 5 times. And that shit's a 6-minute song, but it doesn't even feel that way because it's so damn good. But those are my top tracks, y'all. But like, this album is amazing. Like, literally, I did not expect to like this album as much as I did. I love this fucking album. This is a brilliant album. It's an album that I know is gonna get slept on because Jean Grae and Quelle Chris just like, they're not at the forefront of anything. Jean Grae hasn't done anything, you know, in a while. Quelle Chris is still highly underground as well. But them coming together and making this album needs to be praised. This album is fucking phenomenal. The work that went into this album, from the production to the little humorous quirks here. I love Jean Grae's little moment when she's in the elevator before Zero and she's doing her little singing in there. It's really hilarious. The fucking incorporation of all these samples and whatnot, and just Jean Grae and Quelle Chris cohesively working together on a brilliant album, incorporating everything that they want to put in. You can tell that they didn't have any limits. They did whatever they wanted to do, and it's a fucking dope-ass album. And I mean, I got nothing else to say about this album, but it's fucking phenomenal, and I love it. So my final verdict, I'm not saying that Jean Grae and Quelle Chris is an amazing, beautiful, great piece of work that needs to be listened to and needs to be heard, and I just had to talk about this album like right now because I'm so excited hearing it, and I want to hear it again because these two are so in sync with each other on a musical and creative standpoint. You can tell that they really put their all into this album, and it just shows. From everything from the production to the lyrics to the subject matter to the feature list that they put on, it has so much to it. It's highly entertaining. You can tell it's just them giving themselves on this project, and it just works. And I got nothing bad to say about this album. There is not a single thing that I would take away from this album because everything works and is where it needs to be. So all I gotta say is that for me, Jean Grae, Quelle Chris, everything's fine, is 100% Granddad approved. Definitely go check out this album, listen to this album, buy this album, support this album because these two are amazing together. I've always been a huge fan of Jean Grae. This album made me an even bigger fan of Quelle Chris. I'm liking him more and more with each project, so he's warming up on me, and he's warmed up a lot more with me on this project. And I hope they continue to put out albums like this together. Hope this isn't a one and done. I'm pretty sure it's not. But I hope we don't have to wait too long for them to give us another album of this caliber because this shit is better than fine. This shit shouldn't have been called Everything's Fine. This should have been called Everything's Fire because this shit's fucking dope. But I got nothing more to say. Jean Grae and Quelle Chris, everything's fine. It's Granddad approved. So go listen to the shit right fucking now. Flip it. Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. Tell me what you think of Jean Grae and Quelle Chris. Everything's fine. If you've heard it, if you have not heard it, it is a phenomenal album. It's so dope. It's so much in this album that's like I really had to kind of condense myself, y'all, because I could have talked on and on about this album, but I just had to give you the quick, just like to the point. It's fire. It's dope. Listen to it. Everything on here just works, and it's just like, it may not be your cup of tea if you're not into just different type of shit, but give it a shot. Open your mind, because this is a brilliant piece of work, and I could just like, it's got a spot in the top 15. I don't think it's going to shift either. I really don't. And I know fuck what month it is, this shit is fire. Previous videos on the side, as well as my latest single, check that out, show us some love. And as always, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, links in the description below. And subscribe, button on the screen, button below, Woolly Reviews, twice a week, as well as the gaming channel and the Let's Talk About It shit, Patreon, all that good shit. I got some more shit coming on the way. Look out, because there's some good shit on the horizon, y'all. You know what it is. And I got nothing more to say. So until next time I take my leave, Granddaughter, Jean Grae, Quelle Chris, everything's fine. Find my ass. This shit is fucking beyond fine. This shit's amazing. This shit's doing it good. It's got 401k. Everything is doing right for this motherfucking album. Cause like this shit is fire. Y'all, I had to wear my sweater for this shit. Cause like, cause Quelle Chris was wearing a sweater. I was wearing one too. And she's got one around. Sweater day, nigga. Fuck it. Listen to this album. Don't matter about the attire. I'm out of here.